to episode 18 of the Salapaloosa Knits video cast. If you're a new viewer, welcome to my channel, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I am doing a completely different location for my recording this week. I'm at my dining table, and I'm really liking how this is working, and I think this is going to be my new recording location going forward. So now you know, change is good for you. This is a video podcast primarily about knitting. Sometimes I do sneak some sewing or crochet in here as well, but this week is going to be all knitting. And if you want to get in touch with me, I am Salapaloosa Knits on Instagram. That is definitely where I am most active. I am Salapaloosa on Ravelry, and if you have any questions or inquiries or anything like that, my email is salapaloosanknits@gmail.com. We have a Ravelry group for the podcast, and it is Salapaloosa Knits Podcast. Enter that in the groups tab and join the group. Yes, my name is Elizabeth. I'm coming to you from the beautiful city of Bergen, which is located in the western part of Norway, and this is where I live with my wonderful long-term boyfriend Christian, and where I work in a psychiatric hospital, and yes, where all the knitting happens. What else? I think that's all of the introductory bits. I'm having some coffee today. Quite frankly, I do think I need the caffeine. It was so hot last night that the heat just kept me from sleeping. So thank goodness for caffeine. Hopefully that will help me from, going quite off the rails today. Anyways, enough about that. We are here for the knitting, and let's just jump into it. Grab your knitting and your preferred cozy beverage, and let's get going. First of all, let's start with the elephant in the room, I guess, or one of them, as I do have a stainless steel bottle opener that is in the shape of an elephant, but the metaphorical elephant in the room, which is my finished Tegna. I'm so happy about it. So this is the Tegna by Boylan Knitworks, or Caitlin Hunter, and I have knitted out of the Magnolia colourway by Lay Family Yarns, and I love the way it turned out. I finished it on our trip to London, and I'm so happy with it. I've worn it a ton already, and this yarn is just so perfect, and I love the way it knit up. I'm going to stand up for a second to show you everything in its full glory. Alright, so this is it. Yes, like I said, I love the way that the colour knit up. I think it's so perfect for summer. I might actually knit another one in 4 colours with longer sleeves, because it might be just a little bit too summery for me to wear during the winter, but who knows, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I probably will, because I do really like it. What else? I've done a couple of adjustments on it that I thought I would talk you through. Because of my frame and body shape, I decided to do just a couple of little tweaks to make it a little more flattering and wearable. So what I did was, after the lace portion, I actually reduced the stitch count by 10 stitches, and then I knit all the way up to my chest, and then I added the stitches back over the bust to fit the décolletage, if you will. Yes, just to give it a little bit more of a slightly fitted shape across the waist, and I'm glad I did. I really like the shape and how it turned out. I also added about an inch in the length of the torso, and I did about, I think maybe 10 extra rounds on the sleeves, because I really wanted the sleeves to end just right above my elbow crease. I do like that length on a sleeve, so I'm very glad I did that. Also for the sleeves, I actually went up, I think, 2 sizes on the sleeves. I knit the jumper in the XS size, and I did the sleeves in the medium, and I'm really glad I did. Yeah, I don't think it would have looked good at all if I'd knit the sleeves in the XS size, because they were teeny tiny, and if I could somehow wrestle my arm into the sleeve, it just would not look good. And yeah, Boylan Knitworks, am I glad I did? Oh, that was weird, sorry. Yes, I'm glad I did the alterations that I did. I'm really pleased with the way it looked turned out. I can show you the back really quickly. There you have it. Yes. Anything else? I don't think so. I'm just going to sit down now because this is starting to feel really, really awkward. But here it is. It's my Tegna. It's finished. Yay! Super, super happy about it. I thought it was an incredibly enjoyable knit, and it's definitely, I'd say it's a beginner-friendly pattern, especially if you're a bit of a adventurous beginner and not too intimidated by some lace work. If you have a little bit of lace skills, then I'm sure you'd be perfectly fine knitting it. Yes, I'm so happy with it. I'm gonna keep hitting this plant. Sorry if this is very distracting. You know what? I don't think it's distracting. If it's distracting, then just try to refocus, because I really like that plant and I want to keep it in the frame. Also, I'm absolutely obsessed with huge green plants, and I'd prefer a house sort of simulating a jungle in a way. I love the plants. I would prefer them absolutely everywhere. So, anyways, that's the Tegna. Do go check out the pattern if you are interested in doing a top or a jumper or just a fun summer project. Yeah, that's it. Okay, for the next project that I'm going to show you is, let me just reach on over and grab it. It is living in this adorable project bag by I think it's Suremi. Yes, suremi.co.uk. Is that a play on the do re mi from Sound of Music? I think it might be. It's a mermaid project bag. I love it. This is one of my favorite project bags. And in it, I've got a pair of socks that I haven't shown you. If you followed me on my Instagram, you may have seen it. And it is the Fine and Dandy sock pattern. It is by Jessica Gore. I am knitting it on my Knit Pro Calibans needles. And just a moment, there we go. And here they are. Let me just straighten these out a little bit for you. There we go. These are the Fine and Dandy socks. The pattern, like I said, it's by Jessica Gore. I'm knitting them toe up, as the pattern says to do. The yarn is a self-striping yarn by an Etsy store called, there we have it, by an Etsy store called Comic Book Store Yarns on Etsy. And it was a Halloween kit last year, and I just really adore this yarn. It's a really beautiful self-striping. I think that the colours that Evie, I think her name is Evie, the dyer, that she chose, I think they are quite brilliant. They work so beautifully together, and I do love them, the way that they are knitting up. I am using a contrasting that, honestly, I just found in my scrap bin with my wool nylon content scraps. So I'm not entirely sure what yarn that is, but it did suit quite well with self-striping. I do think it's some sort of commercial sock yarn though, because it just feels and looks that way. But yes, here they are. I haven't done a ton on these, but I have been carrying them around with me and just snuck in a couple of rows every now and then, and I'm really enjoying working on these. I have made a couple of the Fine and Dandy socks previously, but never in a self-striping, and I'm really loving the way that is knitting up. I think that it is just so fun and playful, and for some reason I usually do just the vanilla sock in a self-striping yarn, but I think that this is just so fun and playful and just adds some more interest, and it's a lot of fun to knit. I guess it could be a little bit too busy for some people, and although I am a bit of a minimalist, being Scandinavian and everything, I definitely sort of stray over to the more maximalist side sometimes, and this I just felt like this was super appealing to me at the moment. Yes, I'm planning on doing a contrasting heel and toe as well on these, yes, that's pretty much it. The Fine and Dandy sock pattern is such a great pattern, you guys. It's a steal on Ravelry. I think it's $1 for the pattern, and all the proceeds are donated to a nominated charity, and right now it's UNICEF. So do go check that out if you're looking for a new sock pattern. It's a brilliant pattern. Yes. That is actually all the knitting that I'm going to discuss with you, because I've been doing a lot of designing for the last weeks. That's primarily where my focus has been, and they're all secrets for the moment, but I'm going to do a call out for test knitters on Instagram and in the Ravelry group as well, so make sure you pay attention there if that's something you might be interested in. And what else? Yes, great things are coming. I'm very excited about it, and yes, I can't wait to share it with you guys, but not quite yet. I'm going to be a little bit of a tease and yeah, just say that it's coming at some point. Not too long ago, not too long in the future. Yes. Also, we are going on holiday tomorrow, and I need to go to, or we are going to our in-laws for dinner in just a few hours, and I do need to get some packing done before then. So I decided to just show you the new things that you haven't seen finished or started before, and then I'll just give you some updates on my other things in the next episode, and also on Instagram. Also, because I don't have that much time to record today, I thought I'd just show you some of the acquisitions that I've attained recently, and just because it's been quite a while since the last episode, it's been a few weeks, and we've been travelling a little bit, so I've definitely accumulated some things that I haven't shown you yet, and I thought I should get some of that sort of out of the way, because before I do, I don't feel like I can necessarily use all of them, because I want to show it off to you in the skein so that you know how it looks like, and in case it's something that you want to get for yourself. And what else? Yeah. Anyways, let's just jump into it. I think we're going to do sort of acquisitions and a bit of waffle all together, combined this week, because they are sort of interlinked. Yeah, a fair warning, once again, there is quite a few acquisitions today, because, you know, it's been a few weeks, I've been travelling, blah blah blah, I've already said that. There's a substantial amount, fair warning. So first of all, we were in London for a week. It was wonderful, it was a beautiful trip. We ate some fantastic food at some of our favourite restaurants in London, and one of my favourite breakfast brunch spots, which is Kensington Square Kitchen, and if you're ever in the neighbourhood, that's a brilliant place they have the best porridge I know of. Yes, anyways, it was lovely. We had some great food. We watched The Lion King, the musical, on stage. It was just so inspiring and so beautifully produced. I absolutely loved it. It made me feel like I was a little kid again. So that was great. And I remember when we were going into the theatre, the guard that we showed our tickets to going in, he was this huge, beefy, older man. He was, I'd say, maybe around 60, and just really muscly. And when we showed him our tickets, he just sort of nodded at Christian and just said, "Try not to cry." And I thought that was just really funny and charming. And, you know, it is a very intense story, and it is very moving, and I did manage not to cry, but it was definitely very moving. So if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. It was beautiful. What else? We went to some museums. We went to the Sensational Butterflies exhibition at the National History Museum, which is basically a huge tent that you walk through, and it's just filled with exotic butterflies. And I've loved butterflies since I was a little girl, and yeah, I've always wanted to go and check out that exhibit. They are open during the summer months, and they are just on the lawn right outside the Natural History Museum. And yeah, you basically just walk through the tent, and there are like thousands of butterflies just flying all around, and it's filled with exotic plants and flowers, and it was so beautiful and just felt so exotic and fairy tale like. It was terribly romantic and quite, yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I think maybe Christian didn't find it quite as magical and romantic as I did, as he was totally melting away in the super humid climate inside the tent. But he was great. He was really great about it. What? That's not a word. I was going for yes, and then I was thinking then. So, Jan, you have it. We were going to a couple of museums, like I said, and then the most incredible thing that we did was going to Loop. At least for me it was. But before I talk about that, I want to show you a little thing that I picked up at the Natural History Museum. It is, I'm just going to take this out of its wrapping. There's going to be some crinkling here because I don't want the plastic to be too bright for you. Okay, so I got this little blue dyed-in butterfly charm at the Natural History Museum. They say clam, what is this? I can't speak today, words. They say it's a charm. It is clearly a stitch marker, and I just had to bring it home with me, and both because I love the way it looks, it's a super beautiful stitch marker, and also it just makes a really nice memory of that day, and yes, all the butterfly fun. But anyways, we went to Loop. Loop London is the most amazing yarn store in London. It's in Camden Passage, and if you are in London, it's definitely worth a little trip. And I got quite a few things there. Where should I begin? I'm going to start, I think, with my most favorite thing that I got. I have shown this on Instagram, but if you don't follow me there, you haven't seen it. It's this little thing. So this is the Kawana mini scissors. They are a 2.5 inch little snip, and it is made in Seki, which is the foremost cutlery making town in Japan. Sorry for butchering these names, I don't speak Japanese. And there's a little silk tassel on here, and they come in a bunch of different colours. I had the hardest time choosing one, but I decided on this sort of mustard gold colour. And this little silk tassel is handmade by a man called Imasato, who is a specialist in tassels and knots. How amazing is that? That just makes me so happy for some reason that there is such a thing as a, you know, specialist in tassels and knots. And they come in this adorable little leather pouch, and these scissors are actually, they look quite blunt when you just see them like this, but they are actually really sharp and perfect to keep in the project bag and just carry around with you anywhere. And they just, they are so special to me. I do know that they sell rather large ones as well, but that was just, well, first of all, the larger ones are quite pricey, and also I really had my heart set on these tiny ones, and they were sold out in, I think, a couple of hours when they first got them in, and then they announced that they were having another shipment arrive on I think it was Wednesday, and so I actually scheduled my loop trip so that it would be on the day that they would get these in, and they did have them when I got there. So these are the Kawana mini scissors, and I just really love these. I really love these. This is basically my biggest treasure at the moment, maybe apart from Christian, but yay! I'm just really pleased with them. So that's one of the things that I got at Loop. Oh, there's just a mountain of yarn in front of me. I don't even know where to begin. I also, let's talk about some yarn. I got some, pardon, some Ching fibers. I got 2 skeins of the 100% superwash merino, the merino singles. The first one is called Lucia or Lucia, I'm not quite sure. And it was just such a fun and crazy pop of colour that I just couldn't leave it on the shelf. And I'm really excited about this. I have some thoughts about a shawl design that this might go into. The second one is called Oyster, and this is, I guess, much more of a the sort of typical skein that I'm drawn to. It's a sort of a beautiful neutral with pops of some mauve and purple and green in there. It's called Oyster, and I really love this one. I'm so excited about it. Next, I'm just zooming through here or else I'm never going to get done. What's this? There's something showing. Oh, it's a bit of yarn. I'll have to put that somewhere else. All right. Yes, I'm just going to zoom through it or we're never going to get done. I got another one of the crazy Salva balls by Salapaloosa. There we go. I did get a couple of these last time I was at Loop, and I think that it is just such a beautiful colour. It's so fun and playful. It's a self-striping, but it's also got these 2 different colour twists in some of the colour portions. And the name of the colourway is Grüne Woche. The number for the colourway is 2204. Yes, and it's a, let's see, 75% virgin wool and 25% nylon. So this is clearly going to be a very fun pair of socks. That's that. Next up, I got a couple of balls of yarn that for crocheting, and it is the Capias Maxi Sweet Treat yarn. I've wanted to try this for a really long time. I think it was I'm having a total brain freeze right now, but someone talked about this one and I've wanted to try it for a really long time. So yes, here it is. It's just 100% mercerized cotton, and it's a 25 gram ball. It's 140 meters, and yes, I'm going to do some crocheting with this, some sort of amigurumi thing, and the colorway name, it's not a name, it's a number, 248. And then I got this grey one, and the colour is 074. So that's these two, and the last one was this beautiful color right here. It's called 408, and it's just this lovely blushing pink, and these three are going to be something pretty. I initially wanted to get a whole bunch of these. They have the most incredible colors. It just looks like at Loop they had them just lined up on this huge shelf just on top of each other, and it was just incredible. It made me think of these sort of old-fashioned candy shops that existed when I was a kid. But I thought that I should just get a couple ones to try them out and see how I liked it, and then if I liked it, then I can always order some more colours from Loop. So I'm really excited about those. I'll keep you posted on the crocheting and how I like the yarn. Yes, I also got a couple of clover crochet hooks. These are quite small. It's a 1.75 millimeter, and I really love this the clover. I think it's called Soft Touch. Yes, Clover Soft Touch. I really like these needles. I've got a couple of hooks. I've got a couple of these, and I really like it. It's made of steel, and it's got some resin on the handle, and yeah, it's just really comfortable to crochet with. So I got a couple of these, and I forgot to bring those, but I got a couple of the Chiagu red lace fixed circulars, because they are really hard to get a hold of where I live, and I really enjoy knitting with them. So I thought that when I saw them at Loop, I didn't plan on getting them, but when I saw them, I just grabbed a couple. So I just got different sock sizes. Basically, I got some 2 millimeters, some 2.25, some 2.5s, and I think I got a 3 millimeter needle as well. Yes, so just some smaller needles, mostly for socks, but then a couple of larger ones as well. Really happy with those. I got a new needle gauge, a ruler from Loop. I love these wooden sort of gauge accessories and needle size rulers. I have the twig and horn gauge ruler, and I love that one so much. And so when I saw these at the register, I had to bring one home with me, because I can never find a needle size ruler when I need one. So I thought maybe it would be a good idea to get an extra one, and it's so pretty that I'll probably always know where I put it. Alright, next up, I got a couple of skeins of Madeline Tosh. I got two because they were so perfect together, they couldn't be separated. And the first one is Tiny House. This is Madeline Tosh Merino Light, which is the fingering weight 100% merino. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? This rust and this olive with the brown, I think it's just, it really makes my heart sing. And the second one is called, it's also Tosh Merino Light, and it is called Librarian's Dream. And clearly these two look like they were made for each other. So this is definitely going to be a shawl, and I'm so excited about these. The way that these look together, it's so sort of soothing. I feel like to look at something that's just so perfectly that works so wonderfully together. And yes, one more time. So this top one, the green one, it's called Librarian's Dream, and the bottom one is called Tiny House. Yes. Alright, those were the things that I got at the actual Loop store. You also get this adorable tote to keep your things in, which I love. I've got a couple of these now, and I do use all of them all the time, so that's pretty nice. Alright, I did do a couple of different purchases too. I ordered some things from different makers and from Amazon, just to save a little bit of shipping whilst I was in the UK. And yes, let me see. First of all, I got some mini skeins from Madeline Tosh. I got these 3. So this one is called Mermaid's Tale. It's by Madeline Tosh. I will link to their shop in the show notes, which can be found in the Ravelry group. They're all 25 gram minis, 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon. And this one is called Sage, and it is 75% merino, 5%, 75% merino, 20% nylon, and 5% silver stellina. It's sparkly and beautiful. I don't know if you can see the sparkles, but trust me, they are lovely. And the last one is also the sparkle base, and it is called Storm. So these are all going to be lovely contrasts for heel, toes and cuffs. Yes, so that's that. I got a skein of yarn from Little Stone Cottage, and the colourway is called Miso Sage. I'm obsessed with this. I think this is just so stunning. I can't wait to cake it up and see how it looks like and how it's to knit with. So Little Stone Cottage, I'll put the link in the show notes. It's a 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon, fingering weight, 100 gram skein. I do have something in mind for these. For this, it's probably going to be a pair of socks, but I'm not 100% sure. I really love the way it looks in the skein, and it's just sort of inspiring me to think about different uses for it. And I do have some thoughts about a shawl as well, so we'll see. Yes, so I got that one, and well, you know, my all-time favourite, Bird Street UK, Mr. Bee Yawns. I got 3 different skeins. First of them is called Lysanthium, and there we go. It's this pale pink with specks and pops of just a sea of colours. We've got greens, purples, blues, rusts, browns, blues, lilac, and the base is pale pink gorgeous. And the second one is called Write Me Lover, and it is also just super summery and playful and fun. I love their yarn. You know that. I rant about them in pretty much every episode. And the last one is called She Dreams of Paradise. And this is it. Isn't that gorgeous? I think this one I feel is really interesting because it's basically reds, blues and greens, and for some reason you'd think that would necessarily work that well together, but I really like it. It's just so different and it works really well. Yes, so those are the 3 beautiful skeins from Bird Street UK. I also, did I forget that one? Yeah, I think I did. I also got a really adorable DPN cozy from Stone Cottage, but I'll show that in the next episode. It's just these adorable kitties. Yes, I'll show you next time. What else? Yes, the last thing that I ordered in London was a Calibans GPM set. I did get the Knit Pro Calibans interchangeable needle set not too long ago, and I really wanted to get a DPM set as well because I don't use DPMs all that much, but when I do need them, I do find that I can either find them or I don't have a lot of DPMs, so I'm usually using them for some other project when I need them. So the set comes in this really practical case, this zipper case, and the sizes range from, I think I noted this somewhere in my notes. Did I not? Maybe I forgot. No, here we are. Alright, the set ranges from a size 0, which is a US 0, 2mm needle, all the way up to a 4mm needle, which is a US size 6. And yes, I'm really liking these. I've tested quite a few of them already, and they are just really excellent DPMs. The Calibans, I talked about this before, they are extremely lightweight, and that makes them quite the joy to work with. And yes, I don't use DPMs that much, so I wanted to get a set of sizes that I knew that I would actually use regularly, and these were pretty much perfect. These were the exact sizes that I knew that I use now and then. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think there's much much else to say about those right now. But they are currently living in my needle stash. Okay, that might actually be all of it. Oh, it definitely helps to just zoom through it. I also received my Fibershare package, and I haven't brought the things with me. I'll post a picture of it on Instagram. But it was literally the most generous gift I've ever gotten. It was incredible. I was so moved and touched and grateful. I pretty much almost started crying when I opened it. Ashley, I'm just completely at a loss for words. It was, yeah. I've still not come down from the high of opening that package, and it was like a week and a half ago. It was incredible. And yes, I'll post a picture of it on Instagram if you're interested. And let's just move on, because I'm literally just, I don't know what to say. I'm at a total loss for words thinking about that incredible Fibershare package. So I'll post it on Instagram, because apparently I'm too emotional to talk about it. But anyways, one last thing, something completely different. You may not be interested at all, but I'm just mentioning it just in case. I bought a new camera yesterday. It is the Olympus Pen EPL8. And this is it. And hopefully this is going to be my recording camera going forward, but I do need to get a dual bracket mount for my for the tripod, because this camera has the screen goes downwards instead of up. So if I'm going to mount this, then I'll need a dual bracket to put on the tripod, so that I can see that I'm actually showing you the things that I think I'm showing you. But I'm really excited about the camera. I think it's going to make it a whole lot easier for me to make new content and stay in touch with you when I'm traveling and moving around. And it's just going to make it so much easier for me when I'm out and about, and I can do some vlogging and yeah, just keep in touch. So I'm really excited, and I'll definitely try to make quite a bit of content now that I'm going away, and you can see how it works out. Hopefully it's going to work out really well. Yes, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a really good tool for me going forward. So that's that. Speaking of vlogging, like I said, I'm going to Spain tomorrow. Or did I say that? I think I said that. We're going on holiday. We are going to Spain, and we'll be gone for 3 weeks. So I'll probably won't record a full-length episode while in Spain, but I'm definitely going to do some vlogging and maybe some sort of mini-sodes, and I'm probably also going to try to do that on Instagram at the new Instagram TV feature. So if you're interested, do pop on over and follow me there if you want to stay in touch while I am gone. Yes, so that's that. What else? Like I said, I've mostly been working on designing lately, and I will do a call for test knitters soon. Do make sure you follow me on Instagram and in the Ravelry group if you're interested in that. Yes, alright, I think I'm going to have to wrap it up for this week. I need to get ready for dinner with the in-laws, and I need to get my packing done. I need to pack knitting for 3 weeks. I don't know where to begin. I might have to just pack an extra suitcase of all of my yarn, and then then I'll be free to do whatever creative impulses I might have with over me in Spain. Yes, thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time with me. As always, it's been such a joy talking to you guys. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. I love interacting with you guys. And feel free to hit the thumbs up button for the video and to hit subscribe to my channel if you'd like to, that really helps me out and helps me grow the channel and create better content for you guys, so I really appreciate that, and hope you have a lovely knitting week. Goodbye.